Welcome. Chat rules. No doxing. No homophobic bullcrap. No racial bullcrap. If you don't like someone in chat, click on their name and select block. And then select block again. Done. If you ever feel like it's all too much, log off and contact the number below for help. To be eligible for gifted memberships, click the $sign and select membership. Then hit gift settings and slide to on to allow gifts. Turn off gift settings the same way. My email, ConnieKR68@gmail.com. Tips are appreciated, never expected. Cash App, $sign, capital CONNIEKR. PayPal me at ConnieKR68. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism and commenting.
Get ready, because Constant Sue has something to say, like it or not. Hello. Good evening, I guess it would be. How y'all doing? Lido and Cheshire Cat, Kimmykins. We're going to talk, we're going to correct some misinformation or misspoken words. Hey, Dodie, Becky. Griff did a live about me the other day, and I wanted to correct some information that he had. There's a poll. Be sure to vote in the poll before we leave. The polls, should we stop covering Ernie? Yes or no, or do what makes me happy? I'm probably going to do what makes me happy. And I'm probably going to keep covering Ernie because that's what I know. And I'm not here for great fame. Ernie and Griff both said, well, your channel won't grow. Don't you want bigger and better things? No. I just want the same folks I'm talking to. I just want the same folks I'm talking to, to come around and talk to me every now and then. If I never got one more subscriber, I'd be happy with what I got. Hey, Flossie, thank you. Hey, Holly Dolly. So I suppose, the chat will decide. If y'all don't want to hear about Ernie, you don't have to listen to me. But I'm comfortable. I like my comfort zone, I guess. I know what I'm talking about. I don't have to guess. And we might find something occasionally odd to look at. Oh, let me show you what I found recently. And I don't know how I came across it. But it was in my shorts. It was probably in shorts because I watched them. Let me look. Should have had it brought up here already. It freaked me way out. Now, watch me not be able to find it. There was a short. Oh, there it is, I think. Share my screen. I was just scrolling right along and I came across massive amounts of head lice. And this isn't even the worst one. That wasn't it, I think. You have no, dang it. Why is that not going to pop up for me today? It's no. It was a short. I remember that. Well, we'll watch it when I can remember which the short was. But they had the comb, and they did one swipe through the comb, and the headlights just went everywhere. It freaked me out. Hey, white boy. White boy just gave us a little insider info. Hey, AC, Sky, Kiki's Eyes, Robo Granny. Remember Ernie was in the black suit when he did that video call with Brad? Black means cray cray. Especially, like he's pulling the cray cray card. I knew black meant something, but okay, let's get into this. See what I missed here. Sky, did I say hi to you? I think I did. And Michelle. And Buttercup. It freaked me out too. I can't believe I can't find it now. I should have saved it. Griff is a weirdo wannabe YouTuber that nobody wants to watch. He gets like 4.5 views. Well, today he had 50 talking about me today. And the day before that, I don't know what it was, but it was all wrong. So as soon as I'm done doing my rant, he's welcome to take a link, but I want to get my rant out. Thank you, Zipporella, for being a new member. I want to get my rant out before because I get sidetracked. So, hey, Grinch. Let's get into this. So the live was yesterday. And it said excuses to exploit Ernie Shell. Excuses to exploit the Ernie out of the Lightning Tiger. Here's the link. Y'all want to go over and give him a view. Maybe leave him a comment. Whatever. But it had the thumbnail had my the title of my video in it. So think who was live? Katie was live. Maybe it wasn't Katie. It was, I think Bird was live. AC was live. Somebody else was live. And there was like a ton of lives going at the same time. And I thought, well, Griff's just probably, bitching about me. So I'll catch that later. And I didn't tune in. I didn't tune in until later that day. Later this morning. And I'm like, what? That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Hey, Chester Cat, thank you for being a new member. And thank you for gifting one membership. And I was going to write it down. I'm like, no, so I don't screw things up. So I'll make sure I get it right. I'll just cover his live. And I asked him this morning. He did another live about it this morning. And I asked him, I said, I'm going to just review yours. Hey, Jackie Blue. Just so I make sure I get it right. So that's why we're here now. Every time I do this, you think I'm a newbie. Every time. Every time. Hide that. Okay. So here's Griff's. We'll get into it.
Go to jail. Where were you? You know what? It's like it was me. Really. Good time.
And I can't speed Griff up because he's like me, talks fast, so we'd be screwed. Thank you, Holly Dolly, for gifted one membership. So we just got to, meddle through it. Hey, Fox. Here we go. Let me know if you can hear it okay.
I guess the older you get, it just escapes us, It's amazing. Funny how, I guess you get deluded, you get caught up in some of it. I can just say, I do it myself. Get caught up in some of the most dumbest shit in the world, too, the older you get to. And make it have significance to us, Make it where it means something. It really mystifies me. It really does to see what is y'all. The hate is so bad you won't even stick around and listen. But
let me start by saying the title of my video was Since the Feds Are Watching, Let's Cover Ernie. Because Ernie said the feds were watching. And I thought, well, shit, if the feds are watching, now's the best time to cover Ernie, right? Because we all know we want the feds to watch. So if the feds are watching, I'm going to cover Ernie. And Griff didn't like that. Chiquita. Hey. Oh, these two dogs. Hey, Fizz, lay down. Hey, Nina. Hey, Truth Troll. So anyway, Griff didn't like the title of my live because it said, if the feds are watching, let's cover Ernie. And then so the title of his live was Excuses to Exploit the Ernie Out of the Lightning Tiger.
Just to see it get started. What are y'all waiting on? What am I not bringing you to the table? What are y'all expecting? And y'all been disappointed. It's amazing. Before y'all be piled in here, before you get up here start talking, I'll say just take off. That's y'all's kick. Well, kudos, y'all should get a warm welcome out to the help. You seen the thumbnail for the live? I know you did. Again, 3 weeks ago, it was no, they're not going to give up on Ernie until they see him go in jail. How dare you tell us that we should ignore Ernie and he'll just stop doing what he's doing because he has hurt people.
To start with, I never said that. I've never said I'm not going to stop with Ernie until he goes to jail. I don't think I've ever said that. I would not. There's no reason to stop with Ernie when he goes to jail because Ernie's going to get right back out of jail. So why would you stop? Now, it's not like Ernie's going to prison for major amounts of years, and even then, there's still, he's a lolcow. And even in prison, he's doing lolcow things. So as long as he's doing stupid shit, I'm going to laugh at him. I'm going to cover it. So no, I wouldn't say that. He didn't say I said it. But since the video, was about my video, I kind of thought, well, you're talking about me. So I just want to make sure if you're talking about me, that wasn't me. Because I never said that.
Don't give up on Ernie until they see him go in jail. How dare you tell us that we should ignore Ernie and he'll just stop doing what he's doing because he has hurt people. Whatever. But we're not going to stop till he goes to jail. Well, first off, we're not going to stop till he leaves YouTube. Okay, well, we're not.
I never said that either. Nope. Didn't say I was going to stop when he leaves YouTube. Because I would never say that because I don't think Ernie's ever going to leave YouTube. So it's just not something I would say. Sure wouldn't.
He's got to go to jail. Once he goes to jail, we'll stop.
I already covered that. I never said that either.
All right, well, look, he's in jail, but look, he's still talking. So we're not going to stop. They won't stop if he's dead and being buried.
And I'll tell you this, Griff. I don't think I would stop when he's dead and buried, because should he, God forbid, pass away, that's another story to cover. You know, the legend of Ernie Shell. I know, so I wouldn't say that either. Hey, Katie.
Because it just does not make sense.
You're right.
It really doesn't.
It don't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Not following Ernie, because that's all these people have.
Well, it's not all that I have, but it's what I cover. No shame in my game, and I'll tell you right here, Ernie's my content. As long as he's doing lol cow shit, and Ernie's my content. No qualms about it. Ernie's my content.
You're desperate.
I'm not desperate.
I mean, they're yearning for it. I mean, look,
Ernie.
look, apparently,
I think I think yearning's a bit of a stretch. Oh, how I yearn for Ernie content. I don't yearn for Ernie content, Griff. I know the reason I have to yearn for it is because it just comes. There's never been a dry spell. It's just always happened. So no, I don't yearn. Hi, Krabby McCrab face. Hey, Courtney, Mike, thank you for being a new member. Yeah, Griff's still around.
you don't know much about the judicial system. I don't understand why you're doing this.
Let me go back.
Look, apparently you don't know much about the judicial system. I don't understand why you're doing this.
Don't know much about the judicial system. Well, no. If you mean being on that side of the bars, you're right. No, I don't. I think I did a weekend in jail in 2003. Never really dated anybody in jail. Parents weren't in jail. Family wasn't in jail. My kids weren't in jail. But I am one math class away from that paralegal degree, that I could have if I just could take that math class. So I know a little bit about the jail.
Look, apparently you don't know much about the judicial system. I don't understand why you're doing this for the truth-seeking thing, because what they do is they call.
Am I doing a truth-seeking thing? I didn't realize I was doing a truth-seeking thing. I suppose you could say I'm doing a truth-seeking thing. I never thought of it as a truth-seeking thing, but let's give it to him. Yeah, I'm doing a truth-seeking thing.
I don't understand why you're doing this for the truth-seeking thing, because what they do is they call it extradition hearing. This happens if you're picked up by a state.
So what he's talking about here is on work yesterday when we looked at the FOIA, the arrest FOIA that said he had a court date on December 24th, and it said that he did then and there commit a felony in the state of South Carolina by absconding. Well, if Griff is right, and I don't know that Griff's right, but Griff is saying that's the extradition charge. And they had an extradition hearing. Well, because I want to make this fact-based. No, truth-finding. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Truth-finding. We'll just look at it again to make sure I get it right. On the FOIA, I don't know if it was on the arrest or the intake, but we'll find it on one of them. Here's the arrest for you. Past this. Here it is. Here's the part when it said offense 17/9/10, fugitive from justice. Offense date 8/25/24. Now this is what Griff is calling the extradition charge. Okay, he might be right. I thought maybe it was a different, and I said thought. Griff, I said thought. I said maybe this is another charge. I specifically know that I said maybe because I don't know. So I would say maybe. Maybe this is another charge because it said on 8/26, a defendant did willfully and unlawfully violate South Carolina Code of Laws by fleeing the state of Kentucky while having an arrest warrant, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't know if that was another charge. According to Griff, this is the extradition part. So if anybody is more educated in this, wants to confirm or deny that, that would be great. I don't know if White Boy's still here or not. But he's saying that that's the extradition part. If it is, great. I didn't know what it was. I said it might be another charge. So then you go down this, what you call it, FOIA, arrest FOIA. And you get down to, I think it's on the other one. Yeah, it's on the other one. It's on this one. And you got to go down past his picture. And we seen that it said, right here. It said on 12/20/24, he has a court date. Now, Griff tells me that that is the extradition hearing. Well, Griff, I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm saying I don't know about that because on 8/27 right here, it said bond court. Wouldn't that be his extradition? I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know what this is. But according to Griff, this is the extradition hearing. But why would you have an extradition hearing in December when he waived extradition and he's already in Kentucky? So why would you come back in December for an extradition hearing? Not saying that I know what I'm talking about. Just questions I have. Just our cat. So, Fizz, maybe you know. I don't know what this. Yeah, it's all legal jibber jabber. Yeah. Hey, Viper. Viper said there is no extradition hearing because Ernie signed a waiver declining a hearing allowing Kentucky to extradite. That's what I thought, Viper. Dummy me. That's exactly what I thought. So, what might this court date be on 12/20/24? Unless that is his Kentucky court date and it transferred to South Carolina papers and it's not a South Carolina charge. So I don't know. I don't know if that's Kentucky court. I don't know. But I don't think it's an extradition, Griff. I just don't. Okay.
Doesn't have a warrant on you. Because what they do is they call it extradition hearing. This happens if you're picked up by a state that doesn't have a warrant on you, but that state finds to the NCIC that another state that does extradite has a warrant for your arrest.
Viper, who I trust above most people on here, said there is no South Carolina charge for him. That is his Kentucky hearing. There you go. But now I know the next thing someone's going to say, how does Viper know? Well, Viper has told you many times who he is. He's told you how you can verify it. I've told you how you can verify it. Just knowing what I know and knowing who I know that Viper knows and knowing what I've talked to Viper about, I trust his opinion. Now, you guys can, like in Griff's chat today, they were all coming at me going, well, how do you know? 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 Did this? And I'm like, when you know, you know. You just know. And had you guys paid attention and not tried to, hate on people, maybe you would know too. But as for where my little world over here, I'm going to stand with Viper and he knows what he's talking about. If y'all weren't hating, you'd have gratitude, I guess. You'd have gratitude for many things that he's done. Viper said, because he's testifying at it, maybe. Maybe. And that's another thing. They want to run to YouTube with every little thing. Every little thing isn't YouTube. Just sit back and watch and see. The biggest point of contention was the whole, did the Secret Service pick up Ernie? And they said, well, that'd be on the FOIA report. Well, giving payback. I don't know if y'all seen her community post, but she's done FOIAs before. Let me see if I can find it. She's done FOIAs before, many, and she knows the FOIA process. So she tried to FOIA the information from South Carolina, and they kept giving her the runaround. She don't know if she wasn't wording it right, because you got to word it just right in some states. She said she was wording it right. I forgot the rest of it. Oh, it's on my notepad right here. She didn't know if she wasn't wording it right, but they were giving her a hard time. So, and the only reason I'm going to take the time to look for this is because I want to make sure I'm correct. Here it is. Oh, heavens. Okay, giving payback. On her community tab, she said, that was 9 months ago. Well, get back up here in the future concerts. 4 days ago. She said, so I have some questions, y'all. The good old lightning tiger. Make sure you can see this. Remove that comment. The good old lightning tiger, Ernie Shell, came through jail calls today, and at first he did his normal thing, acting like all is well and all happening is not a big deal, saying it was the best that could happen so he could take care of his life and then get back on track again, which he's never done today yet. Then he came back and acted like it was a whole big ordeal. He said lettered agencies were involved along with the Secret Service, saying he was surrounded by 30 to 50 law enforcement, none of which I believe. That's just my comment. LE of all different kinds, even had them coming out of the woods. Those aren't the exact words, but y'all get what I mean. It's a condensed version. Anyways, lettered agencies are never involved in something simple, especially not Secret Service. They also don't send a ton of LE for something simple as a warrant that needs picked up and transported, not unless there's a known huge danger. He also said it was so big it made the news. I haven't had a chance to go back and look, but from what I have done so far, that's not popped up. But point is, it would mean it was a really big deal. So what is it? What's really truly going on? Is he just playing up, or is there truth to it? He's telling on himself that it's true in the actual case, and it would explain possibly why I've had such a hard time trying to fulfill some of the promises I made to the community as this went down. When this started, I promised to the people I know and interact with in chats that I would do all I could to FOIA all I can. I have done that. It has been nothing but a problem and a pass around. It has been so weird to me because if it was a simple thing, why all the extra nonsense? When I started the process, I started with calls. I went through maybe 7 people the first time alone. Each person, when they heard the name, acted funny. It was weird to me. I ended up contacting a chief in the York County District, who I have now left multiple messages for with zero response. I decided to do more research, and I used an online form I found for FOIA in that county. When I did that, it asked all that I would be wanting. I said in the message I would like any and all 911 calls that led to the arrest, all body cams surrounding anything to do with him, all court transcripts, all calls he made, any logs of any kind available, basically anything and everything to do with him. The response back through that was even weird. A very simple, I'm sorry, but you have to contact the arresting agency. She said, okay, well, I did that. Or suppose I should say, did it with who I assume was in charge. Why even have an online forum if that's all is going to be a response to me? It made no sense at all. I also got no more response at all. I never got any more response at all, not from a soul I was put in contact with, outside the short, sweet pass off to another person's response. I also do not have a lot of time to deal with these types of things, but I made a promise and was committed to doing doing it if all possible, even if it took me longer than most others would. I even found one lady that had the time to hear it all and wanted to know the details, so I told her, and she is following now too. That is just a funny side effect, I suppose. But she even tried to help me all she could, and she didn't understand why the online FOIA was responding in that way. She said herself that it's not a normal response. She also gave me one more name besides the name of the lady that responded in the email, and she gave me a phone number. I called that too. Still nothing. I have nothing from all I've done. Not one single thing. All I have is a pass around, and the people that normally deal with it all cannot even answer why they cannot deal with this. And it's from the very little communication. And that is from the very little communication I've been able to have with very few. As I said, most will not even call back, and the ones supposedly usually dealing with these types of things say they cannot. I also went through all the dispatch logs available in that county. There was one spot I heard that they were out for a pickup on a warrant. Other than that, nothing. Never said a name, what was going on, so I'm not even sure it was him, but it was close to the arrest time. That is all I know. There was literally nothing that would be the useful stuff if people had called in. It's very weird. I don't know what the heck to think. I just know that I've tried and I offered to pay whatever to get it, but there seems to be no point of contact. I've only dealt with something like this one time before, and even that time the U.S. Marshals were involved. I was able to pull all that. It isn't something I put out there because it was not a YouTube thing. It was something I knew of in real life, and even then, I didn't have any of these issues. So I have to ask, and cannot help but ask, what is really going on? Did Ernie actually deal with all those different agencies he's listed off? And is he for once being honest while telling all over himself? And if so, dang y'all, he has done way more than most of us even knew about. He even claims himself that it was his fuck around and find out phone call to an agent that he made himself that supposedly got him in all this mess. Not to say others did not help or help lead, but him taking that as a joke says a lot in itself. He should have never messed around with any agency that wanted to speak with him. But that's what he does. He turns it all into jokes. So do many others. We never know what to believe is the reality and truth when it's boiled down to a mess. I'm just saying it was all weird for what I was trying to do. Then he made all those claims. He usually is never believed. He is never to be believed, and I know that. But it would explain why it was an abnormal situation to getting information, and it grabs as much of a bigger question all over too. What? And it grabs at a much bigger question all over too. What has he really done that he's trying to sweep under the rug? If it's all true that they were involved, had I not had any issues trying to fulfill my promise to people, I would assume he was totally full of shit like always. But there's something weird surrounding all these calls and emails I've done, all the pass around, all the no callbacks, all the hassle on being able to obtain even the littlest thing. What the fuck is really going on? So why we read all that was, in my opinion, just my opinion alone. I said in Griff's chat today, I said, well, you can't say you're going to shoot the president. Giving payback. I'll give you the link to it. Giving payback has followed Ernie for a while, and she's pretty helpful most times. In my opinion, you can't say you're going to kill the president and someone not look into it, especially after the president was just shot at, grazed. So then the rebuttal was, does the Debo have proof? Is it on recording? Then she can't prove nothing. I don't care if someone says they're going to shoot the president, someone's going to come talk to you. There's giving payback. Someone's going to come talk to you. Now, Ernie said, we all know Ernie exaggerates shit. But it's awful strange that Debo and Tina, before anything was, really come out in Tina's chat, that the Secret Service was on the phone with Debo all day, and she knew when she was getting arrested, and the way they pinged his phone was because she had all the paperwork. When he left all that paperwork for the phone, it had the IME number, the CIN number, the phone number, everything you would need if you didn't have the phone to ping the phone. Now, Ernie says his phone was pinged because he called in to talk about Karen. Now, which is more likely? Ernie calls in to ask the Secret Service, hey, did an agent make this call? I'm sure they get many calls all day long, from nuts to truth. I don't think they would just ping a random dude's call. Or, on the other hand, if someone called in and said, hey, this dude said he was going to shoot the president, combined with, you look over here, and there is a report to Homeland Security and a report to the FBI and TBI and the Secret Service, the weight of Debo's call with Angelo's report, combined with all the information to ping the phone. In my opinion, if I'm gauging things based on shit I don't know, I'm gonna say the Secret Service pinged Ernie's phone, and that's how they found him. I don't believe 50 or 60 agents came to arrest him and all that bullshit, but I do believe that's what happened. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't know. That's just my opinion when I'm doing logic of things. So let me keep up these comments here. Giving Payback said, I didn't know you were live. Okay. I was on here and was watching stupid Wade calls, and when you popped up one of the videos. Yeah. Let me see if I missed anything. Okay, if I'm missing any questions that y'all need to know, type them again, and I'll get to them. So there's that. Now, let's get back to Griff.
A warrant on you. But that's, what they do is they call it extradition hearing. This happens if you're picked up by a state that doesn't have a warrant on you.
Hey, Kevin.
But that state finds to the NCIC
hey, Sarah.
that another state that does extradite has a warrant for your arrest. They will house you.
Hey, Markella.
Contact that state and let them know that they have you. Now, in the state of South Carolina, they had 20 days to come back and get him, to come there and get him. Now, if they did it, regardless of the outcome, a court date had to be issued once they had him in custody by a judge. It had to be presented to a judge, an extradition hearing. In other words, that little crap that you read a while ago on your live about the damn breaking and violating South Carolina law, that's every state in the union. They all have that. That's the ones that will extradite. That's what that law is for. Now, the hearing itself is an extradition hearing. Now, if you would have kept up with the Daybell hearings, trials when they were down in Hawaii,
I've told Griff a million times I'm not true crime. And I was a little miffed talking to me like I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm not up on extradition and all that. But it just didn't, again, when you're thinking about logical things, why have an extradition hearing date in December when he waived extradition, like Viper said, and he's already gone. Zepparella said, did anyone see Xander type in chat that Ernie raped his friend? I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I heard that Debo had other charges coming for Ernie. I also, and this is heard, not because I've got any proofs, it's just what I heard, that she took out a protection order against him. So there's that. Markella said, but Tina and Debo said that phone pinged in Tennessee, and then he was found. Then he wasn't in Tennessee. Then it said it pinged in Georgia, but it didn't find him there. when he never left South Carolina. Explain that. What I heard them say was Georgia, and then it pinged in South Carolina. It's not a around the world trip, Markella. He could have very well been in Georgia, and then went back to South Carolina. Just drove down to Georgia for something. That's what I think there. But does Tina and Debo always get everything 100% correct? No, so I don't know. But just when you weigh the totality of the circumstances, that's what I think. He very well might have been in Georgia before. I don't know what the call got that she might have misunderstood. But in the end, that's what I think. Now let's say Lightning Viper, why would you be testifying at Ernie's court date? Yeah, ask Lightning Viper that, not me. Angelo has an email too. Viper said, because of my actual report filed with Kentucky Department of Homeland Security, SS, FBI, and TBI, maybe. See, this is what you all wanted. Everybody to praise thee and put thee on the high pedestal for we turned Ernie in. But then y'all have done nothing but shit on Viper from day one. Everybody knew Ernie was stolen valor. Everybody knew. Just look at the pictures from the get-go. Everybody knew. It didn't take anybody breaking out anything, like Kemper and Timbo say, well, we told you that Ernie was stolen valor. Any person that looked at that stupid shit from Ernie's knew he was stolen valor. But Viper proved it. Now, just because you all did not pay attention on how he proved it, that's not my fault. How he proved it was, and follow along. He had a contact that helped homeless veterans. Ernie said he was a homeless veteran in New York. When Ernie said he was a homeless veteran in New York, Viper contacted the agency that helps homeless veterans. The agency that helps homeless veterans. Now, everybody can't find out Ernie's military papers. The layperson can't do that. But there are some people that can. If you are an agency that helps homeless veterans and you are accredited, I don't know if accredited is the right word, but if this is what you do, then you can. There is a loophole in the law, and you were everybody was welcome to call and find out for themselves, but nobody wants to do that. Everybody's supposed to talk shit. But you could call it, and the people verified that Ernie was not a veteran. And not only verified it, showed the paperwork where Ernie was not a veteran. Then Viper took that paper and brought it to us. Now, did he ask for praise and accolades and everything? No. All he did was he did what he would have done naturally without all of us. If he's seen a homeless vet, he was trying to help a homeless vet. When he found out a homeless vet was a piece of shit, he alerted everybody, don't help this piece of shit. So that's how that got done. So I'm tired of everybody saying, I want to see Viper's DD 214. I don't know, cheese and rice. He has said his credentials. It's on recording many times. Many times. And he has an email. He's never hid who he was. Today, Griff said, well, what's Viper only been around here for 6 months? No, Viper's been around here longer than Summer Wells. Longer than Ernie. Longer than Benny Keys. Viper's been on YouTube. Doing what Viper does. Helping. Now, if y'all would stop, long enough to stop talking shit, you might know that. And Griff admits it here in a minute. The reason he doesn't like Viper is because the first time he met Viper, first time he talked to Viper, Viper said, hey, Griff. So now, today he said, this is what Griff said. And I know you shouldn't worry too much about what Griff says because, sometimes Griff is way off. But today he said, well, I don't believe a female employee has a food stamp card. Well, what makes you think Viper has a food stamp card? Constance, there's a database of everybody that gets on food stamps. You can look it up. There is not a database of everybody on food stamps. So I said, Griff, can you share your source with me? so I can verify that. And he said, no, you can find it. You're smart. Look it up yourself. That's a cop out. Hi, Chicky. Hey, Peachy. That's a cop out. If you make that claim, you share your source. If you can't share your source, I'm going to call you full of shit. So Lightning Viper, Markel says, Lightning Viper's court date is about him being a fleeing felon. Holly Dolly says, Viper, that makes sense. Markel says, I'm sorry, but unless I see or hear proof, I don't believe none of it. Okay, you don't have to believe none of it, Markella. Nobody's asking you to believe none of it. And you don't even have to not say anything. But so you know that that's why people. Now let's try to thought my phone. It's me, Chicky said. Okay. Viper said, I am not testifying on these felonies to see if there's enough evidence to bring new charges relating to 2 missing children. Now, you people cannot deny that Viper did make the reports because the agencies that allowed him to video or to record, he made the recording and it's out there. Now, Markella said he hasn't been charged yet. Do you know how much information that we sent them? I know it was a lot. It was timestamps of videos, Facebook pages. Cash apps. It was a lot. The cash apps, to investigate the cash apps alone would probably take some time. So it's going to take time. And charges may never come. They may never come. But at least we did what we thought was best to help. And it's going to take some time. She's from South Carolina. They didn't say South Carolina. They said Tennessee and Georgia. Well, no, I heard Georgia and South Carolina. So we'll just have to fight about that. 5%. And I will leave that there. This is not for YouTube. His getting caught was perhaps, but now real work begins. I agree. You don't have, and nobody's required to put your information. What's going on out there. Okay. I'll send you a link. I am just way behind here. Okay. This link is for Viper now. Keep this. I'm way behind in comments. Quit. Chicky, I kind of think I agree with that. Oh, you have a definite attitude against him, Markella. You absolutely do. Absolutely do. And like Peachy said, I'm not putting anybody on a pedestal for his arrest. If you want a pedestal, you are a weirdo. And yeah, I guess we could say we haven't seen proof of that either. We really haven't seen proof. Which leads me back to giving paybacks. Why was it so hard for her to FOIA? I don't know. But, oh no, Viper. She said, I've seen her in chat. She's talked shit. Hello.
I think mostly there's the YouTube side of the and then there's the stuff that you can't really go into too much detail on because it's not for YouTube. So the people that got a copy of the report that legitimately was sent to these agencies, which were Constance, Traders, Katie. I don't think Nana C ever asked for it, but if she did, she would have gotten a copy of it too. Because I really don't have any issues with because legitimately to me, it was those people that were more interested in getting Ernie arrested for the right reasons than anybody else on the platform that I could see that was actively involved. What I saw was a 3-year period of cat and mouse games between creators, chatters, and Ernie Shell. And he loved every moment of it. That's what he thrived on. He thrived on that adventure. Convincing vulnerable, easily manipulated people into a world that he created that was make-believe, that had nothing to do with reality. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I might have came in on the back end of it 3 months ago or whatever, however long it's been, right?
Uh-huh.
And in that 3 months, I got his actual military records, which prove that he's not a veteran. He served 56 days.
Oh, yes. I'm glad you're bringing that up because today in Griff's chat, Sister Callie, like she just said, you said, Viper said, I've showed my DD-214 number and I gave my DOD number. He's done it many times. Many times.
Yeah. Yeah. I've shown it on live stream. My
Yes.
DOD number is out there.
Many, and
Like,
it's recorded on every call he's made. He gives his number. So I told Sister Callie that, and she goes, I don't care about that. I want to see a number. Well, it's not my place to produce a number. But then she said, I haven't been able to see your DD-214 Lightning Viper. Where is it posted?
well,
He has an email. So I'll post your email.
You're welcome to FOIA it the same way I FOIA'd Ernie's. Assuming you have a legitimate reason to do it.
But it's,
I also showed my military ID card on live stream. It's not my problem that you didn't see it.
Right. And if everybody that doesn't see it comes back with, well, I didn't see it. Well, I didn't see it. Well, maybe you need to do a little research, go back to those phone calls and get his DOD number. It's all right there. I mean, okay. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's all right. Correct, Nancy. 56 days was before he had any basic training. No basic training, no AIT. He never went. So he's not a veteran. Now, I haven't seen Markella say anything bad about me, so I don't have an issue with Markella. Here's what I want to say, Bill, because she does make valid points. So I, of course, wanted to see the documents from Secret Service on Ernie Shell. Okay, so I put a FOIA request in to the Miami Secret Service office and the main headquarters in DC. And there's no reports. There is nothing to FOIA is the response I got back. So what am I supposed to believe? I look at the FOIA record I got for Ernie. Okay. I see his arrest record and I see his intake form. You know, that's documentation that I can verify. There's no mention of Secret Service. There's no mention of Nicole. No offense to you, Markella. There's no mention of you. There's no mention of a phone call. How did they know where Ernie was? Well, here's the problem I have. Markella definitely knew where Ernie was. She definitely knew where he was. Nobody else did. Markella knew. And then within a few hours of being warned by Nicole that she knew where Ernie was. Again. A couple of hours later, Ernie's finally picked up. So when I talked to the officer that wrote the report, he said there is a call that came in from the house for domestic violence. He's not aware of any calls that came in, but clearly calls came in. So why are those not documented? Let me make sure I make this clear. It's for me, based on the evidence, it's beyond refutable that Markella for sure had something to do with Ernie getting arrested. 1000%. I would 100% throw my support behind that and say she's the reason he got arrested. The question is, why was there a DV call from that house? Why is Helms protected from the report? Why is she not arrested for aiding and abetting if she didn't turn him in? And did she turn him in after Nicole went up on the stream and said she knew where he was? Did she do that to protect herself? Because the biggest thing I've noticed with the supporters of Tiger is they're easily going to throw each other under the bus.
Yeah.
To save themselves. Easily going to say. The problem I have with it is that the online part of it, yeah, we got him caught. Good. That's the biggest thing. He's in jail. Personally, I think Markella should get all the money. Personally.
Which was a private reward. Griff said, there was no goddamn reward. There's no reward. No, it was a private reward.
Yeah, it was a private reward. But the information that was coming from Tina Holistic and Deborah Dybo, or whatever she pronounces her name, didn't match up with the ability to obtain reports on it. You can't just sit there and go, well, the reports are private because it's a Secret Service. No. Even Detective Fagan said there is no open investigation with Secret Service. I'll be right back.
Okay. I just think it's odd that there's no record of Markella or whoever, Nicolina, calling it in. You would think the report would say, we received a call from, and redact the name, alerting us that there was a fugitive at, it just said we went there and arrested him. So, and my mind would go to Secret Service would be secret, but I'm going to trust Viper on this because he's one of the people I trust out here the most. And if he says that's what I'm going to lean to. I'm still going to question, but I'm going to lean to that. And today, Griff wanted to almost say that Ernie Shell was a veteran because he did 56 days. Well, by Viper's own words, he did 56 days, but he did not show up to do anything else. So what do you say now? That he's not a veteran? I mean, that he is a veteran? Well, you could ask him when he comes back. Sister Callie, maybe, and I'm just saying, I probably shouldn't even ask for him, but everybody that he's shown it. He's gave his DOD number. It's on recording. If you do just a little bit of work, you could find it. If everybody that came over says, well, I haven't seen it. 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 Where's that? Well, I haven't seen it. Well, I haven't seen it. Well, I haven't seen it. So, I don't know. But it's out there and it's on recording. And Markella, you might not have talked direct shit about Viper, but it's just the attitude that I've seen you have. So, Sister Kelly, can you do some work? Maybe you should just go agree toward call. How about that, huh?
Oh, sorry about that.
Hasn't Viper done enough? Maybe you could do a little work, Sister Kelly. Maybe not be such a smart ass.
That's the other thing I've noticed. It seems like a select few people just want all the work done for them. And, and that's another reason why, and this may not be popular vote, but hey, I got to give credit where credit's due. That's another reason why I respect Markella. She did the work. It's clouded a little bit because of the YouTube world, and I get that. But I have not taken credit for anything. The only thing I take credit for is I got Ernie Shell's records. That's it. Everything else came from all these people, from both sides, from Jimbo's, from the Mean Girls, from Constance Sue, from Traders, from Sarah, from Katie, from a lot of different people. L. Kennedy, Nana C. They all contributed clips that allowed me to put together a puzzle. A grand puzzle of things that have been going on for the last 3 years with Ernie Shell.
True. Sister Kelly said, I'm not willing to make up a story to get someone's DD-214. It's dishonest. He didn't make up a story.
He said he was a homeless veteran in New York City.
Going to get his military ID.
It's on video.
Yes. He said he was going there to get his military ID. Because once he got his military ID, he could get so much more help. So he went to get his military ID as he was homeless in New York. What is dishonest about that, Sister Kelly? So you ask the sources. Okay. Well, and another thing that might go a lot farther is if someone would approach with a different approach. Hey, Viper, I'm trying to put this shit together and do my own research, just so I know I got my bases crossed. would it be, problem with, show me your DD-214 nicely instead of coming in a chat and saying, show me your DD-214. I don't do this and I don't do that. And where, I'll tell you fuck off too. Especially after you don't want it handed to you. Come out with an attitude. I tell you fuck off too. If you can't find it, you can't find it. Sorry about your luck. Enough people have seen it that with an attitude like that, maybe, you'll just have to settle with not seeing it. I don't know what to say.
I even showed my NCOERs just to be factual.
Yeah, and I forgot whose panel that was on, but it's besides the fact that if you talk to enough people out here, if Viper was fake, we would know about it. He's been here longer than almost all of us, probably. We would know if he was fake. People have vouched for him. So there's that. And
well, I mean, to be fair, people vouched for Ernie Shell too.
Well, that's true. That's true. Well, I guess I should say people that I respect their credibility, which I guess that leads to, subjection too, but it's just a weird thing. Word of mouth isn't evidence. Oh my God. I'm about.
That's true. That's true. Word of mouth is what they want. So the way this sounds to me is it sounds like it's somebody that wants to try to get identifiable information so they can attempt to use it against me to contact my family or my grandmother or my grandfather. I'm an orphan. I don't have any family. I live in an RV. I'm fat, overweight, and live in an RV. So there you go.
And Tina has him adopted.
Adopted. Never got adopted. That would have probably saved me a lot of pain in my life.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a good family anyway.
Yep. Nana C says, Sister Callie, I have the live where Ernie said he was a homeless veteran in New York needing to get his military ID. There you go.
All right. Here you go. Share this.
Okay.
This is my DD-214.
Sister Callie, are you getting this?
See that form there? See this here?
Because I won't ask him to. I mean, it's ridiculous that it's been done so many times, and if you get it for this,
here's my medals that I earned. Here's my some of my training. Look at subject to active duty recall by the Secretary of the Army. Retirement, honorable, permanently disabled because I had a stroke. Otherwise, I'd probably still be in the military. So there's my DD-214. There's my years of service. 6 years. 6 years, not 56 days.
Is that? Are you happy, Sister Callie? Sister Callie, it's not the fact that it was hard. It's the fact that he's done it and done it and done it and done it and done it. And tomorrow, some dumbass will come here and say, well, I haven't seen his DD-214 number. And he's, got a family, enjoying his life. Why should he have to come on a panel and show it every fucking time?
Mm-hmm.
We'll be sure to clip this time to archive it. But now I hope that puts that to rest. And I hope that puts to rest that
no, I got one more.
Okay.
Got one more because I did start in the air technical school, and I finished in the counterintelligence field. So, got to show that too, so people understand where my training comes from. So this is an ARCOM. It's called an ARCOM, the Army Commendation Medal. Headquarters Company Brigade, 2nd Combatant Team. This is at the Fort Drum. This is an infantry unit where I was stationed inside the military intelligence side. And then from there, I went to Fort Belvoir, where I became the Training and Operations NCO IC for the MACOM unit. an E5 sitting in an E8 slot. I reported directly to General Legier and whoever the Pentagon sent over.
Can somebody verify that those numbers were easy to read? Nana C, can you clip that? Could you read the numbers so we don't have to do this again? Because Sister Callie said she couldn't see the numbers. She'll have to zoom in later. Well, I don't want her to say, well, I couldn't see the numbers. If one person can verify it, that's good enough for me.
At the time of that award, that's a sergeant E5, yes. At the time of retirement, it's staff sergeant.
There you go. So I hope that, puts that bullshit to rest.
Angelo is not SV. I don't know what SV means.
Stolen valor.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Because, but the point is, Sister Callie, I mean, and I hate to be a bitch, but it's just the attitude you came at people with. And tomorrow there'll be somebody saying, well, I never seen this DD-14. I never seen it. So then when I was just, drag him up on panel again, he wasn't obligated to do any of this. He wasn't obligated to follow the reports. The work that went into the reports was immense.
I don't even do this on my channel. I don't stream about this stuff. I go on other people's platforms because I need to spread the word.
Yep. And he's not building a channel.
I mean, my channel is based on a video game.
Mm-hmm. Like Chicky said, it gets exhausting. The same tricks over and over again. Always the same thing. Always.
Oh, yes. Thank you, that dude. That's right. It was on Kevin's. Or Karen's. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
I fucking slipped right into it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But, they request all of this from people that's been verified. But Nicolina can say anything. And then if she's called out, it's, I was just trolling. I wasn't lying. I was trolling. But, if she don't say she's trolling, just believe her for everything, So
that's the big goal. The goal for me coming in was to get Ernie caught, Ernie arrested, and Ernie locked up. And then from there, start working on the other things that I was working on behind the scenes on Ernie, which I believe he's connected to in some way, form, or fashion. And that required a lot of people to send me clips and send me evidence, like the girl in his trunk that was trying to get out. The fact that he said he uses kids as bait, legitimately uses kids. The fact that he's aiding and abetting and missing children, and falsifying evidence for criminal investigations, which make the police look stupid because they're trusting him based on his word. So things like that, calling himself a federal agent, calling himself a undercover agent, calling himself a cop, calling himself a soldier. I'm trying to protect those organizations and trying to protect women and children from the threat that Ernie definitely represents on this platform and in life. And
when I finish playing Griff, you'll hear Griff say, tell me one person that Ernie's legitimately hurt online. And I'm like, you can't be that dumb. Yeah. I mean, Griff, you've been around here since day one. You can't be that dumb. I mean, you just can't. He said they weren't victims, they were willing participants.
Some of them were.
Right. But in the end, a victim is still a victim. Whether you stupidly put yourself in that position or you should have been more.
I appreciate that, Sister Callie. Thank you.
Yeah, I pinned that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was definitely an NCO. I definitely worked with Congress to change laws in the military, rules or regulations, whatever you want to call them, AR regulations. I helped create a suicide prevention program for the military. I mean, I've done a lot, but it's not for me. It's for people. Like all the charity work I've done, with the exception of the 6 cars that I gave away, was my wife and I's money. We did that with our own money to help people, legitimate people. I lost a ton of money on that. What the hell is that lady's name that was with Jimbo for a while? And then I lost a ton of money on that girl who turned out to be a fraud. $5,000.
And that pisses me off to no end because it was a waste. It's not like she even took the money for herself. The company ended up getting it, screwed it off just because she was irresponsible. It wasn't her money, so she didn't give a shit. But Eyes Wide Open said, there's no girl in the trunk. That was a joke or a lie. Jimbo told me that himself. Eyes Wide Open, there's 2 trunk stories. One trunk story is the one where Ernie, the girl's in the trunk crying. And the other one is Jimbo said that Ernie put his daughter in the trunk. Jimbo later recanted and said, no, that was a joke. So that's the one I think you're thinking of. Now, Ernie will say that the girl in the trunk was just a clip they did for predator hunting. Well, that don't make sense because he was the predator hunter. Predator hunters don't have victims in the trunk. They have predators in the trunk. So that don't make sense. And if you see something like that, it is your duty to report and let the authorities decide what's a danger or not. If they say there's no danger, there's no danger. If they say there's a danger, there's a danger. But if you see something and you don't report it and shit goes bad, then you don't live with that the rest of your life. So if that's Nicolina really in my chat, please block her. She's the only one that I want blocked because I have no use for her at all. Dumbass. Okay, let me check these comments. Does anybody got any final questions for Angelo? If not, I'll push play with the Griff again. I think we got it all there. Let me know if there's a question I missed because I'm way behind in chat again. Okay. Let me move that comment. There's that on big. There we go. Okay.
Just for the record, I've been here since 2010, by the way.
Say that again. My dogs are barking.
I've been in the YouTube platform since 2010.
Yeah. Way before Summer Wells, way before us, way before. And you established yourself with, like Shannon. Shannon knows who you are. Shannon's been here longer. If Shannon, says you're legit to me, then you're legit to me. I mean, there's just some people that you trust that they're not going to bullshit. But again, you always should question things because if that's what keeps you safe, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you should definitely question everything, no matter who's telling you it.
Yeah.
But by questioning it, you should also do research. Like
right.
call the detective that wrote Ernie Shell's report and ask questions. They're willing to talk to you as long as it's within their limits. They're willing to tell you information as long they just can't give you the 911 call. They can't give you the body cam footage, but they'll talk to you. But how you talk to them will determine how well you're going to be received by that person and how well that person's going to give you information back. When you're going to call a cop or a detective or a sergeant or a chief of police and try to proclaim that you're a better detective than them, Nicole, you're going to get nothing back from that except obstinance. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Obstinance. That's it. You're not going to get nothing. But when you call up there and be like, I'm retired Sergeant Stevens Angelo from INSCOM, my DOD number is, and you give your DOD number, those are legitimate conversations. Why am I interested in Ernie Shell? I'm finding Ernie Shell and tracking Ernie Shell because he's stolen valor. He's claiming to be a Department of Homeland Security agent. He's claiming to be an FBI. He's claiming to be police. He's claiming to be working with police agencies on missing and exploited children and has done nothing to demonstrate that he's actually working with those people. That takes away from those agencies. So when you're a legitimate person who works for the government or worked for the government or I still work for the government, but so that's a little different. But when you still work for the government, it carries more weight than some crazy lunatic who played 3 years of cat and mouse, who made a live stream claiming to have somebody's missing child at their house, who makes live streams calling people's grandparents because she can't stand being called out, who makes multiple channels after have been terminated from YouTube. already. So you're already, all your channels are at risk because you're a terminated channel. And if I can convince YouTube partner program the truth of who and what you are, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure people like her, people like Ernie, don't have a safe space on this platform. That's what you're supposed to do. If you care about Americans, you care about its citizens, you care about its children, you have to take people like this off. Children names and the ability to trash people's children comes so easily to those people. So easily. It flows off their mouth as though it's never been a hindrance to them. That should give people pause.
Yep. And eyes wide open. And a lot of people have said, he's in jail now. Why not move on to a new person to expose? Well, for me, if you're asking me, because he's in jail and he's still being a lolcow. So that was to be covered. Do I really think that Ernie is done with YouTube? No. So if I should give, like, say, let up or give him a break now, why would I do that when I can still keep? There's tons of shit we still haven't seen. There's tons of shit that still might be able to be used in a report, for more charges. So what does it hurt that I cover Ernie? If I got 2 people in my chat, I'll cover Ernie. I don't care if I'm getting subscribers. I don't care if I'm getting huge numbers. I'm doing what I want to do because that's what makes me feel somewhat useful on this platform. So that's why I'm going to cover him. I mean, it's not picking on him. If there's nothing to cover, then there's nothing to cover. But he did so much stupid shit out there. There's content for days. And
that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing constant. Here's the thing. If the victims, like all I can do is write a report. I'm not a victim of Ernie Shell.
Yeah, me either.
So all I have is a report of things that he's done and participants that have aided him. That's it. If the victims don't come forward and actually start filing complaints, he's looking at maybe 6 months in jail.
Agreed.
For what he's being charged with time served already, maybe 3 months. And with that, it might be waived with like some sort of parole, or not parole, but whatever it's called.
Probation.
Yeah, probation. So he may not spend any more time in jail than what it takes for him to go to the case and get the case done and dealt with. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the problem, and Markella hinted on it and said it. That's the problem we're having with the Daibo and the Holistic and the Lori and the Mammoth T. Like, none of these people have filed reports that I can ascertain they have filed.
Yep. And I know Mama T won't, because I've done all the work for her, got her clips, timestamps, original links, put them in a folder, put them in a Google Drive with one simple link. With one click, she had it all right there. And all she had to do was take it to her agency. And she didn't do that. But Audrey said there's more than Ernie Shell on these platforms that are stolen valor, but no one will cover them. Well, traders cover them today.
Yeah. Where does he get? They asked about Ernie Shell stolen valor. Where does he get charged? He did it across multiple states. Each state has to have the evidence brought to them, and each state has to make a decision on if it's worth their time to take him to court for it. Because the thing is, the people that get most upset about stolen valor are the actual veterans and the families of veterans and the people that support veterans. Those are the people that get upset the most. These politicians don't give 2 fucks about stolen valor. If they cared about veterans, it wouldn't be so hard for veterans to get the care they need from the VAs instead of being dicked around.
Yeah, they would make better changes than just the stolen valor law that they need to change. But all it takes is one state, one investigator, one person to see that one evidence, to put it together with the one cash app. But that's going to take time, and that's like a needle in a haystack. He may never be charged with stolen valor. Doesn't mean I'm not going to report every time I see him say stolen valor, and it's not. And Viper put it in his report. What they do with it after that is on them. But that's why I'm gonna still cover things, because Hell, there's stuff out there we might not even know yet. You know, there might be worse shit out there we don't even know yet.
And
If
just so
there's
you guys
not,
know, the report was like what? I think 9 pages. The report was 9 pages
yeah. And
of Ernie Shell and his supporters committing crimes.
the clips I sent in were immense. That's not including everybody else. Nancy, traders, everybody else. I know I sent in a boatload that would probably take them, you know, to do it effectively and you know, not just, you know, whatever. It'd probably take them a good 2 months to investigate, you know, because I'm sure they're not doing it 24/7. Thank you, Sandy, for being a member for 15 months. She said, I'd hate to see Ernie slither out yet again. Well, you know, and this is where, like, a lady said, well, Connie, he doxed me. And there's always one I miss. And that's why I kicked myself in the ass. She said, well, somebody said, do you have proof? And she said, no, but I'm sure Constance has got it. And I'm like, I don't. So now I'm researching for that lady. I remember when he did it. I remember when he put her through hell and he did dox her and it was malicious. But I didn't clip it right then for whatever reason. I was busy, or, you know, my laptop was in between laptops or what, but I didn't get it clipped. And it's always the one that I miss that just going to drive me crazy. So, okay, I'm going to play this for this Griff.
Husband, new husband, then killed off spouse that took off the wife. They had an extradition hearing. And what it basically is an extension, basically. Just it gives them a little bit of time. It really doesn't amount to much, because very rarely, very, very rarely does it ever work in your favor. But you can fight the extradition. It gives you the opportunity to plead your case. For your lawyer, plead your case.
Fuck off, Tiptoe. Just straight fuck off. Or what?
They didn't know you should not be extradited. You should not be allowed to go back to that state. You don't want to. You want to fight extradition. That gives you your chance. Now, if they wouldn't have picked him up within the 20-day allotted time that South Carolina allots for extradition case, that's what would have happened. Now, that date
I found a question. Eyes wide open says, what do you want Lori or Mama T or any of the Tigers to do? It's a serious question.
I got that one. Up until 2 weeks before Ernie was fucking arrested, Mama T was still claiming that Ernie Shell's records were fake.
Absolutely.
So she actively participated in his fuck shit. Actively participated. Actively helped keep him on the run for 3 years. Actively. So I don't think she has anything useful to add to Ernie's adventures. I think she's a suspect. Not a victim. Suspect.
Yep. But she could do herself a favor by saying, this is what I know about Ernie. Just putting what you know. He would need, you know, we would have to find him many places to stay, but then that's going to incriminate herself like no other. So maybe she don't want to make a report. But
let me just state again for the record, I don't have an issue with Markella. I don't know who's telling her I do. Yeah. I don't have an issue with you. I personally believe the only person that should have got money out of this so-called finding Ernie is you. Because I don't know who she is to you. She called him and gave him a heads up 2.5 hours before his arrest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just putting it out there. I see nothing about Secret Service being involved in his arrest. I see nothing about the FBI being involved in his arrest. Both services have the report that I wrote, but they didn't actively pursue him. The agent that he called on his phone, that's a real agent in DC. That person is real. I verified it. Whether or not they pinged his phone, they're not going to tell me that. But that is a real agent.
So if they ping his phone from Florida, would they say that? I mean, would they even say that?
No, they're not going to tell us.
Yeah.
Not even me with DOD credentials. They're not going. They're only going to tell other investigators. And the reason why I bring that up is I'm going to play something for you. This is the only reason why I bring this up.
Tiny, quit it.
Please enter your password.
I'm also fighting baby.
Let's see.
First skipped message.
Hey, Sarge, it's Detective Stephen, Northport Police. Got your voice message regarding Ernie Shell. I was notified yesterday by one of our intel guys that he'd been picked up. You can reach me back at my desk if you need to call me. I should be here.
There you go. Now, you all remember Detective Fagan, right?
Yes.
Detective Fagan was the Northport detective that was looking into the missing child that Deborah and Ernie were involved in, where Ernie originally fled. He produced fake evidence.
Yep.
Detective Fagan said his what guys? His intel guys. His intel guys had already informed him that Ernie Shell had been picked up. Ask me what day that call was.
What day was that call?
Sunday. So how did he know Ernie was getting picked up on Tuesday? I have no clue. And I can't get any of that information. I'm running into the same block other than the what I was able to get so far. I can't get anything from the Secret Service. I can't get anything from Detective Fagan except that call. I can't get any phone calls. But I know for a fact the evidence shows that Markella knew where he was.
Yep.
In my opinion, he deserves the credit. Only he deserves the credit for that specific incident.
And I would have been pissed off if I was saying, if me and Markella were working together, and then Nicolina, I mean, if say I'm Nicolina and Markella, if we're partners, doing this, and my partner goes and tells Ernie where he's at before he's picked up, I'd have been all kinds of pissed.
Hold on, they want me to play the call again.
Okay, I'll mute out too.
Please enter your password. First skipped message.
Hey, Sarge, it's Detective Stephen, Northport Police. Got your voice message regarding Ernie Shell. I was notified yesterday by one of our intel guys that he'd been picked up. You can reach me back at my desk if you need to call me. I should be here the rest of the day. 941.
Don't want to put his number out. So he had been picked up. He hadn't been picked up yet.
Mm-hmm. Why is it so fast? Because the guy talked fast.
Because he's from Australia? I don't know.
Yeah. I do like his accent too. Yep. But here's what you could do. If people doubt that, call the man yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you can look up Detective Fagan, Northport Police. You'll get his number.
Yeah.
Call him up that way.
So they were telling you who he talked to. We're telling him where he talked to him at. All we're not doing right now is providing you the phone number, which I could do. But why? It's not that hard to Google that shit.
I think Markella made a call, and I don't think the call's foiable. I think more than Markella made a call, but I think Markella's call kind of critiqued something, and then Nicolina getting on the panel and telling Ernie she knew where he was caused the other lady to call from the house. And those two calls are why York County showed up with what the detective is saying, 4 officers. 2 in the back, 2 in the front. Ernie was sneaking out the back door. It's in the report. And they got him. And he gave him a fake name.
Charlie something.
Somebody called besides Helms. I'm thinking it was Markella.
Yep. And maybe they can't FOIA all this like for an ongoing investigation. Maybe once it's all said and done, maybe they'll let everybody have, whatever the hell they want. But maybe they can't right now while, you know.
But that's the thing. You have to be in South Carolina to call South Carolina 911. You can't call 911
That's true.
from wherever you are. So you had to call a different number.
Yeah, there's sleuthing to be done like that right there. You know, it's if you think about it, yeah, you can't call 911 from Michigan. You can't call 911 from, because my 911 is going to go to my city. But
It's I don't know if Markella called or not. I'm just guessing because one got up on panel and the other one made the call is how I looked at it. I looked at it as Nicole got up on the panel and said, "I know where you are." Markella made the call. I don't know. All I know.
Can you answer that, or is that something you want to answer? Did you make the call, or did Nick make the call?
I mean, that's a legitimate reason to call.
Right.
Be ashamed of for calling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she never said she couldn't call. Yeah, I suppose you could if you had a Google Voice number set there. I'm probably missing a lot of messages, so I apologize to people.
That's fine. Me too. So if there's something we're missing, repeat it again, because here I am telling you to do your own work, and I'm not willing to do my own work and scroll up. I'll just get farther behind if I do that. So, okay, I'm going to play Griff again.
Okay, let me mute.
On that, being pushed back. It's just a preliminary bullshit. That date can happen on the 21st day if they housed him that long. So whatever you're reading there, there's nothing to read into. He does not have another charge. There was no other charge. See, y'all are sitting here looking for shit for content, and the reality is,
no, Griff, I'm not looking for shit for content. There's content for days. Days. I don't need to look for content.
I'll say y'all was done with him once y'all got.
Never said that. I didn't.
See, that leads me to my, to what I want to talk about tonight. I've done some research today. I really done some really good research today. I found out some shit. I was asking questions, not to the AI crap on Google, but literally to Google, finding out, and going to Reddit and understand sheer core. But I was just looking for significance. You know what? I found some good scientific theories and some actual basis to base a lot of what I'm saying now. And it's neat how they're able to put it. Now, of course, look, I know we're all not the damn top of our class. We're not that. We're intelligent enough. And there's going to be some words in some of the stuff that I'm going to discuss that are going to be not even for me. I look them up. So I'm gonna try my best to look them up as we go. To as I touch base on this, to let y'all know what I'm actually saying, because I know I tried this with a wife earlier, and right off the bat she shut me down about 15 minutes into, okay, yeah, you lost me already. And she's probably right. I mean, no offense to anybody. I mean, I lost myself when I was trying to read it, but it does make sense if you can get past all the jargon. I'm not gonna sit here and try to preach off big words, trying to make myself establish myself being somebody more than I am. I'm so good. I got a college degree, that don't make me smart anybody. But there is some words that we don't normally use, put it down. And I'm gonna try my best not to do that. Now, I've got the damn toll. That text now number is a local number for me. It's not toll free. I apologize for that. But y'all can call from your cell phone. Sure can. You can dial that number if you're. I think if you're out of Canada, whatever, you got to dial the 1+, I believe. But anywhere else,
I'm going to attempt to speed Griff up. It's hard to understand anyway, so if it's too much, let me know and I'll slow it back down.
They're saying that when they play it from his stream, it doesn't crackle like it does when you play it.
Is it crackling?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to put the link in the back chat for me, and I'll try to play it on my side and see if it works.
Let me get it. Let me see comments. Private chat. There we go. There's a link. I wonder, maybe it's because I have too many tabs open too. I don't know.
Well, I have a pretty good system, so we'll see if it's you or if it's the video. Where were
I
you
have
at
a
on that?
pretty good system, but probably not near as good as yours. But it's just amazing.
11:58. Yeah, I have 6 monitors, 3 PCs, 2 laptops, and then a mounted what's called a brick drive, where you can remove the drive and put in another one.
Oh.
Sort of like what we had set up in the military. All right, let's see here. Share screen, entire screen, share audio, share. All right, there you go. You're just gonna have to tell me when you need it paused or whatever.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
Here in a minute, he's going to start talking about this big old thing about a theory that he has, and we can skip all over that. But when we get to that part, I'll tell you.
All right. You gotta present my screen.
You guys lost?
There you go. All right.
Trying to preach off,
try to join now?
big words, trying to make myself, establish myself as being somebody more than I am. I'm just old country hick.
Can I try to join now?
That don't make me any smarter than anybody. But there is some words that we don't normally use, put it that way. And I'm gonna try my best to do that. Now, I've got the damn that text now number is a local number for me. It's not toll free. I apologize for that, but y'all can call from your cell phone. Sure can. You can dial that number. If you're, if you're Canada or whatever, you got to dial the 1+, I believe. But if anywhere else, you just got to dial there. But it's in the chat. And it's on the bottom of the screen. Again, I'm only doing this because this isn't my channel. It's my wife's channel. And I just want to be. It's for safety.
Can you turn it up a bit, Viper?
Oh, look, we look. Let's just don't be around. We know the situation. But if you want to discuss something, if you feel like you've got something you want to say, no matter what it is, feel free to gather up, man. So just get on up there. You know what I'm saying? Gather up. The phone will ring and I will answer, and we'll go from there. But no holds barred. Because I mean, again, you can't porn bomb me, so whatever. If you want to discuss it, do what you got to do. But I think this is going to be very interesting if you listen to it, because actually, we all have been under the misperception for a long time, and it really makes sense. It's not really a misperception. It's a base of what's going on and what really is pushing the issue at hand. We've all, since we was children, we all know there's been an ongoing battle between good and evil, right? We know that, right? All right. To be logical about it, we also know that good and evil, there will never be a time when evil is completely destroyed until the end. There will never be a time that evil will ever destroy good. I mean, it's just not feasible. There's no way it can happen. Due to the fact is that evil is a byproduct of good, okay? Now, I'm not trying to go into that detail. I'm just trying to get it started somewhere on a damn base point. I mean, that is just a fact. I mean, because that's where Lucifer comes from good. I mean, the evil is a byproduct of good. In order for good to become bad or evil to grow stronger, one significant behavior has to be implemented. I mean, you think about it, for all these, even in the Dark Ages, keeping kids out of the dark forces and everything. They created these fables and everything, talking about Hansel and Gretel, to keep them out, saying witches again, to try to protect the kids. And that was done as a protection to keep kids. And it works. Keeping your kids off the streets late at night, or keeping your kids from picking up hitchhikers, or from vice versa. Pointing guns at each other. We do that. And we say it. Why? Because you can actually hurt somebody, kill somebody. Well, we know that not every single time that happens, not every single time your child goes walking down the street late at night, it's going to happen to them, but there's a chance. Not every time your child picks up a hitchhiker, but there's a chance. Not every time if your child hitchhikes, get in a car with it, there's a chance. Pointing a gun, there's a chance. The only way that fear gets weakened is by the opportunity of a person or an individual to test the water, so to speak. Look, I'm pointing it at you, and ain't nobody dying. Of course, we already know that it's not going to happen automatically on that thing, but there is a chance it can. Somebody walking down the street late at night, yeah, they might walk all the way to the house, no problem. All right, walk butt naked, nobody say that to them. Yeah, the next morning brag about it. But there was a chance. You don't want your child. Well, that's what all this is about.
Fuck off, Fluffy.
That person that wants to test it, that person that, here's the stories about Bloody Mary in the mirror, decides to get up in front of the mirror and do it. Now, I'm not saying I believe that shit, but it's just the theory about it. And if somebody gets hurt, well, guess what? Because they tested it and it happened. Doesn't mean it's going to happen every time, but it happened. Now, that behavior right there is the same behavior that you can do against good. That if a good, say a church, an upstanding church that is known all for the region as helping people, the pastor's a great person. And then out of the blue, we find out that through all that good Samaritanship and all that stuff they've been doing for hurricane victims like that, we find out that, this his greed overtook him. That somehow in the damn situation, he ended up bit off more than he could chew. All that we believed in that man, all that we seen that man as being righteous is destroyed by simple behavior.
Hey, Rabbit.
See, good can be taken and completely wiped out to where it's abolished, to where it just looks evil. And evil cannot so much look good, but it can grow stronger to where it can compete with good.
I'm sorry. I just have to pause this for a minute because this guy's quoting scripture / his own philosophy / whatever. Evil exists when good does nothing to stop it.
I kept waiting for that, and it never came.
Evil exists when good people don't act. That's when evil exists. And evil grows stronger the more good stands by and lets it grow. Ernie is evil. Ernie being in jail does not stop his evil because his reach, as was proven the other day with his wonderful jailhouse interview of 50 people arresting him and getting into a gang fight in South Carolina, will prove to you evil exists because people give him the ability to continue to be evil. As for the money reward, I give 2 fucks about money. I have plenty of it and enough of it to take care of my family and my children long after I've departed this wonderful planet.
Yep.
That's all I care about. As long as my family's taken care of. At the end of the day, that's successful to me. But at the same time, I can't let a man who never served in the military as a veteran walk around claiming he's a veteran, defaming veterans, defaming Secret Service, defaming the Department of Homeland Security based on some gumshoe adventure that he's on, that he's brainwashed idiot morons into believing.
You see, you'll always be a character. You'll always be able to tell the difference between the good and evil. But the fact of the matter is, which is more popular at the time? Now, bear with me, folks, because I want to tell you something. We've been looking at this all wrong. So many people have been trying to put a big word on this. We've used words like brainwashed. We've used words like drinking the Kool-Aid. We've done that. That has been, I even done it myself. But folks, you realize when it comes to the Tigers and everything like that, Ernie ain't had enough time to brainwash nobody. I mean, you really think about it, except for the very few that have stayed with him for so fucking long, for a long sort of time. I mean, like I'm comparing it to 2 years. You think about it. His longevity for allies is not very long, is it? I mean, these people, most of the time, 90% of the time, they're all with him, all for him, and all of a sudden they give him some money or they do something, all of a sudden he burns the fuck out of them. Next thing you know, bam, they're gone. They're talking shit about it. There's Ernie. Very rarely has he had the opportunity to have somebody stick with him for a long period of time.
Pause.
And in order for him to...
Now that, I'm going to take partial credit for that, Griff, because not only did he use people and throw them away, but the reason people don't stay long with Ernie is I want to think at least that it's for everybody that exposes him, not just me. Everybody that makes a clip, everybody that shares a clip, everybody that does a live, everybody that discusses it, everybody that did anything. And this is I'm just talking about YouTube now. Because Griff will say later, if you just ignore him, he'd go away. Oh my God, no. If we ignored him, he would have blown up. Because nobody...
Yeah. And I can prove that doesn't work. Are you ready? You guys probably won't know any of these names because I've been around for a while. Truthfully, Trisha, still here. MFW, still here. Karen Shell, still here. Tammy Spirit Finder, still here. Ignoring them does not work.
Right.
Putting them in jail, taking away their freedom, that's what works. The
And
more
Griff's
people feel like they can get away with this shit and do this shit and get away with it because they sit behind a computer screen and they're just AKA trolling, the more they're going to do it.
I agree 100%. In a minute, Griff's going to correlate that to say, you know how I know it works, Constance? Because everybody ignored me. And like you see, there's nobody in his chat. I said, Griff and Ernie were two different animals. If you'd have let Ernie run amok, I don't want to think the carnage he would have caused.
But his very live stream proves ignoring him makes him go away. Doesn't work because he's live streaming.
Yep.
That is the stupidest example.
Right.
I
Okay.
know you didn't, Markella. I'm on your side, young lady. I swear I am. I don't know what you're being fed. I don't care. All I care about is that I think you, if anybody got money, it should have been only you. Because I've got clear evidence of 4 occasions that the other one that supposedly got money or would get money or will get money, assuming anybody even got money, gave him 4 attempts to escape.
Including that very day.
Because for her, it wasn't about putting Ernie in jail. It was about one-upping Ernie. And that's the difference.
Thank you. Okay.
To be able to brainwash somebody, sort of like damn Jim Jones and them with the damn Kool-Aid shit, it would have to have contact. He would have to be able to be like a fatherly figure to these people. Do something that a father would do, or a brother would do to somebody to show them compassion to where they would feel obligated to him. That ain't happening. So in essence, we've got to wipe that out. There's no sense in saying that they're brainwashed.
Wrong.
I look like it, but they're not. No, it's a simple word, folks, that we use all the time. It's a simple definition, but that definition, I'm going to break it down for you where it can actually give you exactly what's going on in that one word, in that one 9-letter word. There was a statement that was made 10 years after Hitler became the power of Germany back before World War II by a German theologian named Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He was against the regime, the Gestapo regime that put Hitler in supreme power. And he made a statement that pretty much the words reflected tough lessons soaked in blood. He was part of that small circle of resistance to the dictator. He risked his life for the ideal. It was a dark time in his homeland, and a total war had engulfed the world. And a Gestapo regime was controlling the country. Bonhoeffer pondered how this could be. How could evil, he thought about the nature of evil, and he said, but he could not understand how evil could be that strong. But he come to the conclusion that it wasn't evil that was the most dangerous enemy of the good. No, it wasn't evil. Evil and good are going to be our tribal no matter what. They're going to be there. If you got good, it's always going to be evil. But the most dangerous enemy of good is not evil. Rather, it is stupidity. I'm not making this up, folks. It's stupidity. The statement that he made was simple. He said, stupidity is a more dangerous enemy of the good than evil. Now, you go thinking about it, watching what's going on, and it becomes clear. Most people at one time or another act foolishly. We all do. However, truly ignorant individuals exhibit a lack of introspection and stubbornly cling to their opinions, regardless of how irrational or stupid they may be. These people demonstrate unwavering self-assurance and are often oblivious to their own inadequacies. In other words, they don't even realize their own shortcomings. They're oblivious. They craft retrospective justifications to validate their beliefs and hold on to them. Even when presented with, now listen to this, even when presented with opportunities for personal growth and change, they seem incapable of breaking free from their entrenched habits. Now, I've said this before. I've asked you, these channels that have been here since fucking Ernie come in here, that all they've done is they bought subscribers and shit, and they still keep feathering around the same filth. They still keep doing the same shit. Have they showed any kind of wanting to move forward and become one of the upper elites? No. Why? Because they can't help themselves. Ernie, has made the conversation several times, made the comment that he had outside forces, people on the outside that was going to help him, that was going to support him with money financially to get his protection, rescuing children off the ground. And every time he's always said that, it's always ended up with a tornado biting him in the ass. He's running out of his shoes. Something always happens. He's incapable of breaking free from his entrenched habits. Bottom line is, reasoning with stubborn individuals can be perplexing as it is frustrating. Many have written it off as a hopeless task. As American writer Mark Twain once cautioned, and I use this all the time, never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience every time. To argue against stupidity only seems to reinforce it. These individuals thrive on power and control, defending their position and denying their foolishness regardless of counter arguments. Remember when Griff was sitting there trying to say that a fickle was misspelled on my damn documents? You remember that? And he was trying to tell me they were fake. Well, he's full of shit. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. A fickle is a word. Denying their foolishness regardless of the counter argument. Despite these challenges, it is still possible to sway such people. Believe it or not, they can be swayed. Certain individuals can be, it's tough though, towards sensible behavior. It all starts with understanding the roots of stupidity. You got to know this. You got to know the roots of stupidity. You got to know where it starts and know where it goes. You got to know about it. You got to know where it resonates. From a psychological perspective, stupidity is often considered an outcome of cognitive bias or errors in judgment. Many prominent psychologists attribute irrational beliefs and foolish actions to our cognitive limitations. Research into human cognition and decision making has shed light on why these biases persist. It reveals that humans are not purely rational beings. They switch between fast, intuitive thinking.
I don't know if old Gryffindor is in here listening to your review of his stream, but I have a question for Gryffindor, and that is, what precisely did you do to help get Ernie captured, if anything? Did you do anything, or do you just like to bitch and moan about it?
He was a flip-flopper. He was the one that was against Ernie, and then he, oh, well, I'm going to be Ernie's friend. But I guess he's addressing the stupidity thing to me, since the live was addressed to me, and he's calling me stupid, I guess.
I mean, what part of what you did was stupid?
I don't know. Because he still covered him, I guess.
Okay. Well, he still poses a risk. Until he's sentenced with jail time, Ernie's still at risk. Because at any time, one of those 4 idiot women or that moron abuser up there in Springfield can come up with 10 grand to get him out of jail so he can go fucking run again. Because let's be clear here. We are all in agreement that if Ernie gets bailed out with $10,000, that he will run, right?
Absolutely.
Right? We're all in agreement, right?
Absolutely.
We know this. Yeah. So of course you got to cover him. Of course I've got to contact. If you have evidence on Ernie Shell that the DA should know about, you should be contacting the Madison County DA's office and telling them, here's the evidence and here's why he shouldn't get bail, or his bail should be set higher. He poses a risk to human life, period. Oh,
and I agree. And when now Griff's going to say, well, now you said that when he's in jail, it'll be over. No, I never said that. This part of it will be over. Ernie's still going to do stupid shit. And I mean, unless he's looking at a life sentence, even then I probably wouldn't. I don't know. There's so
if he was serving life, I think the first thing I would do is put money on his roommate's books.
Yep.
That's what I would do. I would put money on everybody he's in the room with. Every one of them would have money, just to ensure that Ernie knows his role. That Ernie is the bitch in this life now. Ernie is the bitch. Period.
And I think he kind of likes it. I don't think he's really suffering in there. White Boy said that I call it a black jumper. He said, no, it's not a jumper. It's like a dress and no underwear. And I said, Ernie's locked up in jail with all them men in a dress and no panties. Hell, he ain't ever going to want to come home.
Anything that you know that he committed in Kentucky, eyes wide open. If you know something he committed in Kentucky, or you know of a federal crime which is impersonation, by the way, and you can prove that he impersonated it through video, call your federal offices, give them the information, call the DA in Madison County, give them your information, and be willing to testify.
And if you don't have,
if they bring charges,
if say like doxing in some states is illegal, if you say, well, he doxed me, but I didn't get proof, check with me and I'll check with other people. Maybe somebody did get it. And between the two, I will have the proof and you will have the victim statement. You probably can't do much without the proof. And I damn sure can't do anything without the victim statement.
oh, I know that, dude. I know he's in like the medical wing, right? Because of his classification.
Ernie?
Yeah. He's in the medical wing with other people that have like-minded illness.
Yeah. I just happened to notice when he was on that call with Brad, he had on a black, I thought was a jumper, but it was like a white boy said, you know, he's been in jail before. He said they're like black skirts or dresses, but I'm thinking more like an overcoat, like a.
All right, I'm gonna hit play because I gotta be away for 4 minutes. So don't need pause for 4 minutes.
Okay.
And slow, rational thinking, depending on the situation. Makes sense, don't it? If you got to think on the fly, if you got something quick happening, you know, we don't take time. We got to do it quick, right? We respond to the moment. Neuroscientists have also weighed in, noting that the brain's frontal lobes, responsible for the rational thinking, can be overridden by the amygdala. The amygdala, a more primitive system for processing threats. In emergency situations requiring quick decisions, the slower deliberate information processing is often set aside. Numerous cognitive biases can help explain some of the nonsensical decisions people make. For instance, individuals can be susceptible to confirmation bias, where they favor information that aligns with their pre-existing beliefs, with their narrative. Even though they know damn well the shit's bullshit, you know, let's take bleach and put it in our goddamn veins. See what I'm saying? How many people push that? They also succumb to anchoring, becoming overly influenced by the first piece of information they receive. In other words, the anchor point. In other words, it doesn't matter. The very first, it's like we've all seen it. We've done it. Whenever the news outlets got so damn bad, they got to where they were jumping on the trending things without checking and betting them. It got real bad. There was a guy that got shot by a cop. He was in his car and his girlfriend had damn Facebooked the entire fucking him dying right there in front of her. The news jumped all over it. Not saying what the hell happened, just saying the guy gets shot by a cop. Well, hell, we ran with it. Eventually, it got out that they were basically had robbed a convenience store down the road and they fit the subscription and the man had a gun. We jump on it and we roll with it. Even when the information turns out to be irrelevant and arbitrary, we still roll with it. The overconfidence effect is another potential factor at play, causing people to overrate their abilities. This is where it gets fucking interesting. Their knowledge. In other words, they think they're smarter than what they really are. And you know what helps that? Is having people in the damn subscribers are out there in that chat, building them up too. I've had that happen to me. Causing people to overrate their abilities and knowledge and the accuracy of their beliefs. There's also the phenomenon of groupthink. Now, here's where it all gets interesting, tiger, funky monkeys. You know, there ain't no brainwashing here. The phenomenon of groupthink, where groups prioritize consensus and conformity over critical evaluation. Flawed decisions could also be the result of fundamental attribution errors. In other words, the bottom line is, just like Mama T used to say, look at how many times they've called the law on Ernie. They have destroyed Ernie. They have just tore him up. They have just caused him so much pain. Instead of realizing the fact that Ernie has put all this stuff on himself, that doesn't matter. What she's pushing is what they've done to Ernie. She's created this and she's running with it. Fundamental attribution error. This involves incorrectly attributing others' behavior to internal factors, such as personality, rather than external factors. In other words, because I reacted to a fucking psychopath bitch that I asked out, how the hell can you sympathize with a rapist if you fucking rape survivor? Because I reacted to her calling me a pedophile, then all of a sudden I become a predator. See, in other words,
talking about me,
that my personality.
Did you say pause?
No, go ahead.
Oh.
Using that again, judging on my personality instead of rather than the external factors. In other words, the outside influences that cause somebody to react. You're wanting to judge somebody or push or label somebody whenever you're the one pushing the reaction to it. Also, the availability of heuristics explains the tendency to rely on information that comes to mind quickly and easily when making decisions. In other words, you don't want, if it's already there embedded in your head, you already got your mind made up. It's like, I'm this fucking deadbeat dad. I'm this dope head. I'm fucking, Griff, the grifter. you choose to go with that a whole lot better than trying to see the reality of it all. You don't want to have to make a decision like that. That doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It does not mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It just makes basically, that's one thing I want you to understand. Stupidity and dumb are not the same thing. Stupidity is knowing better, is knowing. If not knowing better, having the opportunity for somebody to correct you. And either you choose not to because you think you're smarter than what you're working with, or you just decide that your way is the best way. You're more comfortable with that. While these cognitive biases don't inherently imply stupidity, when left unaddressed, they can pose significant risk. When individuals recognize their cognitive biases, they become more willing to participate in productive discussions and gain deeper insights into their own behavior. In other words, when people are able to understand and acknowledge right and wrong without being bashed and shamed on by their other constituents, they're able to see and be able to react better to their own behavior. But y'all grown-ass folks. And that's the odd part about it. Rather than trying to persuade them through rational discourse, sometimes you got to encourage them through examining these biases. In other words, you might have to, usually people can be taught how to properly decode the information they encounter right off the bat. They know there's something thrown out at them, they say, okay, wait a minute. First of all, either they know the person that's telling the shit, so they know how far they can trust it, or they know the person they're talking about, or they can tell where something's being said by that person that it doesn't quite jive because you know different because either your experience or whatever. You're able to break it down. That's normal. That's normal reality. That's normal logic. They can learn to discern whether their own observations and beliefs are grounded in the actual evidence, accurate evidence. When people acquire self-awareness, they are able to reflect on their behavior more objectively. Self-absorbed people, though, often lack interest in the opinions of others. They need to attain a more grounded perspective on life and cultivate their capacity of self-evaluation. And see, that comes with one key element that people get misconstrued with. There's two words that they kind of misunderstand the definitions of. One, sympathy.
I still got time.
Here is empathy. See, a lot of you people try to throw that sympathy card out, and that's so easy to do when you're faking it. But empathy, that right there, by empathizing with someone, that right there can also lead to an opportunity for self-growth, self-evaluation. A lot of y'all act like y'all know, you act like y'all use it, y'all don't. They're very closely similar, but you don't. Satire has a potential to stimulate reflection and critical thinking. Joking, cutting up somebody, making fun or picking on somebody, so to speak, or somebody's actions. We've done that for so long, but it seems like a broken record. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It depends on the individual. Instead of instructing individuals to avoid specific foolish activities, one may encourage them to go ahead. I've done that before. Yeah, go for it. It can be risky, but hope is that they'll learn from their actions. No matter how disastrous the outcome is, they will learn from the experience. And see, when it comes to leaders, an effective leader, whether in government, business, or any other sector, requires a combination of intelligence, knowledge, wisdom, empathy, and compassion. In addition, qualities are critical thinking, problem-solving skills, proficiency in handling complex issues, and the ability to collaborate with others and distinguish between wise and the foolish. A leader like this can set an example that contrasts with the conduct of foolish leaders. In today's post-truth era, and that's where we're at, we're in a post-truth era, we find ourselves grappling with the daily barrage of public discourse that blurs the lines between fact and fantasy. We are fooled by errors and lies, and we don't bother trying to be unfooled or be corrected. We don't want to be educated. We just roll with it. And social media appears to be amplifying such stupidity. Again, it's stupidity. The rise of social media has made human follies more visible than ever. We tend to underestimate the number of ignorant individuals in our midst. Ignorant individuals, that's true. I mean, doesn't mean you're dumb. And the influence such people can exert over large groups. I mean, come on, man. See, the bottom line is when it comes to the evil, you look at Hitler. Hitler was evil. The Mein Kampf that he wrote was a look inside of a deranged, insane genius's mind. The book itself is logical. It can be explained logically, but it is seized with evil. But evil is not what burnt those people. Not that killed all them Jewish people. That evil is not evil. Is what started it. Is what guided. But evil's not the one that did it. He might have said do it, but who did it? Evil is the one that barricaded himself inside of his bunker and committed suicide with a cyanide pill, or shot in his head, whichever one it was, or went to Argentina. Who knows? Evil was that little man. Stupidity was those that knew what he was doing was inhumane.
Okay, we're not gonna let like the whole, 7
trying-
million Jews being murdered weren't because of evil people, right? We're not gonna let that go, right?
It's so jibber jabber that I should have time stamped it too.
Yeah, it's very much the very darkest of all evil is the reason why 7 million plus Jews died, because evil people were doing it, and good people were standing on the sidelines. You got to remember, the U.S. didn't enter that war right away. Good people sat aside and let it happen, and
Right.
evil started to gain traction. Evil started to make a big foothold at the cost of millions of lives because of evil people.
That's where I thought he was going with this whole time with this was for evil to exist, just for good men to do nothing. And he never says that. He never says that point. It's just all this jibber jabber. And
he's reading verbatim off of websites. There's no way that this. I've had conversations with this moron. There's no way. Oh, by the way, I called you a moron, not dumb and not stupid, because there's a difference. You're a moron. You pretend like you know something, but you don't really know something. So you got to read it from somebody else that wrote it, who really didn't know what the fuck they were writing about, which sounds exactly like you.
Genevieve said he's reading verbatim from Quorum on Leadership. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
probably.
idiot. What a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
One thing I'll agree with, that the internet has allowed lunatics like yourself to have a platform to spew nonsense. That's what it's allowed it to do. And the fact that our police force and agencies aren't trained enough on internet social media crimes, where to them it's two people bickering, when the reality is with the release of information and the ease of access that people can obtain your information, your location, psychopaths have access to this platform. Psychopaths who don't chat, they don't stream, they don't do YouTube videos. They just show up at your fucking house.
Yep.
And people like you and Ernie make that possible. That's what's wrong with this platform. And YouTube doesn't care about you. They're not going to sit here and protect you. They're not going to be your saving grace. It's going to take good people standing up, getting their politicians on board with creating better, more secure laws that govern the internet that people like to use under the guise of free speech.
And
half these people that quote free speech can't tell you the purpose of the Constitution or the origins of it, for that matter,
or the fact that it doesn't pertain to private businesses.
Good Lord.
YouTube could make all their rules against your speech they want to, because it's a private business. If they say you can't say damn, you can't say damn. It's a private business.
Exactly. Sorry, I just had to get he's talking about the death of Jews as though it wasn't done by evil people. He's basically trying to say that the death of Jews was from stupid people following orders of an evil person.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And he's
no.
correlating that to me being stupid somehow.
These were white men and white women who believed that they were the master race. That's why they were in that Nazi regime, because they believed what the leader believed. Sound familiar? People were in Ernie's group because they believed what Ernie believed. That he's a cyborg, supernatural soldier, kidnapped by aliens and returned with a special suit of armor to protect him. He could fly through the air, breathe underwater, mate with tigers, and fuck Sasquatches. Yeah.
It was genocide.
Maybe yes.
It was war. It was damn crimes against the world, and they choose to follow it. They weren't threatened. They were Germans. They were the righteous ones from the motherland. They chose to follow him. They knew right from wrong. The basic simplicity of it is evil can only become strong if stupidity is able to branch off. And that's what happens. We've got a 5'9", 150-pound man right now that's actually running this whole goddamn. He's got people looking stupid as hell all over the place. He's in jail for crimes he's done, and he's not even being treated as a criminal. And when we've got people putting it right there in the damn fucking title, well, if YouTube, if the FBI is looking at damn people, you see the FBI is looking at YouTube, so we need to keep on looking at it. We need to keep on looking at Ernie. Just coming up with to use him for content. Calling up there, leaving your phone number for Ernie to call you. These are people that was against him, that was steadily calling him out for all these crimes and shit.
First pause, Viper.
When's it going to stop?
I said that facetiously, like as in jest. You know, well, if the FBI's or if the feds are watching, let's keep covering Ernie. I didn't mean like, if the feds are watching, let's keep covering Ernie. But then again, I did mean, if the feds are watching, let's keep covering Ernie. Because there's so much content out there that we haven't gone over. There might be a little nugget out there that can make him get another charge. So that's why it all, you know, it was facetious, but it wasn't facetious. But it was meant to be lighthearted.
All calls he makes and receives are recorded. All emails he makes and receives are recorded. All mail he receives is recorded, documented. All income that comes into his books is documented and recorded. That stuff is foilable.
Yeah. He said today, Griff said today that he called up there, and that call that was made on the tablet to Brad, they somehow circumvented the system and it was not recorded, and the judge or the jailer didn't know about that call being made. I was like, well, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. Okay, I'm done.
When are y'all just going to come out and admit this is all for your fucking own damn benefit? You're not benefiting nobody. You were not trying to protect none of his fucking victims. Look, the victims, Ernie's victims were all fucking, they knew what they were doing. They were volunteered. They knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't forced to do shit. That's wherever you got to get you got to get the reality. You got to get back to reality and quit going to these damn little fucking fake ass narratives in your mind. This ain't no Harlequin novel. Ernie is a little con man. Bottom line. What is imagination? All these fuckers that are following him, they're all sitting there talking shit about him. And again, I heard one the other night saying, I can't believe he's doing all these talking on live. He's supposed to be being punished. This is supposed to be, he's not supposed to be on YouTube. But they're not stopping. Nobody's stopping this from happening. I heard somebody say that one of the damn guards up there watched his show. You know what?
Ernie said that.
I feel that it needs to be stopped because this man needs help. And I mean that sincerely. Again, I heard some clown that claimed to work for FEMA, that I know is full of shit. He made a comment about 3 weeks ago when he was damn flashing my ass to him because I told him.
He's talking about you, Viper.
He'll go away. That was wrong. This man act like he just popped up out of nowhere. He's been here the whole time, like he knows everything about what to do. So smart ass. He's the one giving information. Called up there telling Ernie he put money on his book. Yeah, it's this for a damn interview. But he said that he couldn't understand why he had to pause and try to educate all these adults on what's going on. Now, what you're trying to do, Tangelo?
I know where he's from.
Promote.
He said today that you put $90 on Ernie's books.
$90.
$90. I said, no way, Griff, no way. Well, he said that he talked to the jailer and somebody put $90 on his books, and Ernie said that Angelo offered to pay him money. I said, so you're believing Ernie's word? It was just ridiculous.
Again, but he's not a victim, Constance. He's just stupid, right?
Right. Yeah.
His words, right?
Right. His own words.
Right. Isn't that Gryffindor's words? He's not a victim. He's just stupid. Yeah. I wouldn't piss on Ernie if he was on fire. Okay. Let me just state that clearly. Not even remotely. If he was the ability to, there's nothing he has, nothing he could say that would benefit me or his victims in any way, shape, or form that would warrant me giving him anything but my testimony and any evidence I can come up with to keep him locked up for a very long time. Absolutely. Because here's the difference. There's a vast difference between mental health illness and being a fucking lunatic. Ernie's a lunatic because Ernie believes he's a super soldier veteran who served in the military and did secret service organizations, worked with the police, rescued all these children, and all of these things, and got people to believe him to the point where even though they knew he was lying, they still supported him. They're no longer victims. They're participants. much like you, Gryffindor. You're a participant now because you're spreading the stupidity.
Kind of definition for yourself and the rest of you people. You don't want to defend nobody. You're not trying to protect nobody, and these people don't need protecting. Look, the reality of the deal is some of these people, the people that are actually going after Ernie, supposedly exposing Ernie, look at the shit they've done. I'm dead serious, people. Look at the shit these people have done. For what reason? Yeah, they come after me just because I called them out for them. Just my opinion. And after my children, these same individuals that are sitting there showing us how bad Ernie is are just as fucking bad. These same people that are get so mad because Ernie's calling the CPS and all these Homeland Security, making a mockery of all these places, these same people are doing the same thing by claiming they talked to. Who in their right mind would call Secret Service? Have you lost your fucking mind to make that? Do you really believe that dumb bitch is going to call Secret Service? That don't work, man. You don't. No human being, no normal American, not even a foreigner, in his right mind would even look up the fucking number, Secret Service, much less call the son of a bitches. I mean,
Right.
people, you don't want them to have your phone number. You can't hide it. You can't star 67 that shit. They're going to get you. That's the Secret Service. You don't call them and say, hey, my name's Nick Lane, and I'm trying to shut down this bullshit, this OD dreamers. You don't do that. Don't worry about calling them. They're watching you, Nick Lane. They know exactly what y'all put clowns are doing. You don't have to be filling them in on nothing. They see it. I mean, come on. How stupid are we supposed to be? I've said this for 3 years now. They are insulting your intelligence, people, and you're letting it happen. But you tell me I'm irrelevant. You tell me I ain't worth shit. Tell me to shut the fuck up. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm telling you to wake the fuck up. I mean, this same individual wanted to use Mama T as his, when I asked him, name a person that Ernie has hurt. And he literally said Mama T.
I don't remember anybody saying that.
I about pissed myself. While he's sitting there dogging her, he's calling her a victim.
Think you're confused.
God don't like ugly. That's right, Angela. You're exactly right. God does not like ugly. No, he does not. And look, you people have tried your best to paint me whatever you want to. But the bottom line is, this is ridiculous, man. If you don't know by now that this man needs help, needs medical, needs psychological help, then
Which he can easily get in a 7 to 14 year prison sentence, just for the record.
Yeah.
They have plenty of mental health facilities. He just has to participate.
He
That's
can get a
it.
college degree.
Yeah. I have no issues with Ernie getting mental health assistance while he's in prison serving a 7 to 14 year. Which reality is, let's just be honest, he's not going to get 7 to 14 years. The guy fled for 3 years and blah, blah, blah. I mean, they did extradite him. That's costly in and of itself. So, I mean, they definitely want him to serve some time in jail. How much, that's all dependent on what happens with this case. And additional charges, if additional charges come, which takes people coming forward. Here's the thing about being a victim and a participant. You can be both. You can be both a participant and a victim.
Yeah.
It may lessen your offense if you testify against it, but you're still a participant and you're still a victim. There are people who lost money helping him. There are legitimate victims who kicked him to the curb and walked away. There's legitimate victims who aren't participants. The thing is, what you know about Ernie is what you've seen on YouTube and Facebook, but there's more to Ernie than what Ernie is putting out there. That's behind the scenes shit that his participants and his victims have insight into. That's not on YouTube and not on social media. It's in their head. It's in their mind. It's in their conscience. It takes them coming forward and telling their story and taking responsibility for their participation in that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're truly apologetic for what you've done, is when you own what you've done hey, I'm sorry. I fucked a lot of you people over. I apologize. I shouldn't have. I should have seen better. I didn't. I didn't know better. I actively participated. I'm sorry. I can't undo that. What I can do is provide evidence to keep Ernie locked up. That's what I'm not seeing. Anybody else seeing that? I'm not seeing that.
Nope. Just
What I'm seeing is a lot of finger pointing. Well, he did this and they did this and they did this and Angelo and Constance and traders and this and that and that. Who gives a fuck? What did you do?
I agree with you, Airborne Vet. Mm-hmm.
And you must eat rocks. But for you people that actually do understand that's what this man needs, but you still deny it or tell me I'm full of shit in order to fit your own agenda, you're the ones that need. You're just as bad as he is. To me, that's criminal. Because see, you people keep pushing him. You provoke this shit to keep going. You push it. You agitate. You keep on. You keep on. But what you end up doing is you don't realize, because you don't want to think about what can happen in the future. You think all that's just being so dramatic, but y'all the motherfuckers are the drama queen. The possibilities of something happening, something that cannot be reversed, a life being taken maybe, due to triggered events, and then he can lean back on PTSD. It can happen, folks, and you people don't give a shit. Because see, you show that whenever you're able to jump on. You got people that you blame yourself, you perceive it to be you're loyal to. They come to you for help. They trust you. 2 weeks later, you're calling them a piece of shit, calling them a goddamn scammer. Y'all do this regularly. Calling wellness checks on each other, calling CPS. You made a mockery of every alphabet soup department of federal government is that we have. You don't care. Some of you people act as if, you come around here acting like, portraying yourself as being somebody that works for a department or an advocate of a certain thing. Who in their right mind will be an advocate for rape victims and bring a rape situation to you? And see, yeah, that's old fucking shit underway, but it's still happening, folks. The same individuals are here. The same clowns that sit there and record conversations with a man's mama. The crime, the one that actually, the predator's mom, putting all this shit out there in public. These same individuals, and they claim to be good. They're all looked at and praised. You wanted to stop Ernie. You wanted to shut Ernie down. You wanted to keep him from hurting people. Well, he's in jail. What better thing to have happen to Ernie is to have him isolated where he cannot get on YouTube, where he cannot get on social media. An opportunity for him to dry out until December, maybe get his head right, maybe be able to see a counselor, something. And you can't even let the motherfucker alone. You cannot even let him alone. You don't know how to leave him alone. Let's see that. Hello.
Well, this is Paul Liberty, and I'm calling you from the city zoo. How are you today?
Oh, goddamn. You see my point? The people's stupid. That's what y'all want to do. You want to be able to keep drumming up the bullshit y'all do. That's fine. That's what y'all want to do. But instead, you want to sit there and you want to complain. One side wants to complain because he's not getting the torture. This should be torture for him, sitting there without being able to get on the phone, him not being able to talk to anybody, him having to wear them ears out of them fucking people in jail, trying to convince them who he is. And then the ones that was bound and determined, they weren't going to quit talking about Ernie until he went to jail. Well, now he's in jail. We're going to, maybe we need to, keep an eye on him because, FBI is watching YouTube. What the fuck difference does that make? Again, no closure equals more money, and that's what it's all about. You don't have content without Ernie Shell. You don't know what the fuck content is. Y'all are a whole band of fucking people that come in here with him for one simple thing. That's all they are. That's all they are. Just like this piece of shit coming here. I don't give a damn about this person. I don't care. This person does not, just leave them alone. They ain't gonna bother nobody. They don't know how to act right. The bottom line is people, I've seen bullying. I've seen hatred. I've seen attack toward me. I've seen it toward other individuals. I've sit right there and I've seen, they don't care about sitting and lying about somebody that supposedly has unlived themselves, about even creating documentation that claims to be the sister of the damn deceased. They don't care. They don't care about them, paying these people. These clowns, these people do not care. When I first got in here in 2000, back in 2021, I thought this was a community that was enriched in protecting those so-called issues that they were advocating for. Now they sit back and wait on their own burner, waiting on some opportunity to, all they're wanting to do is utilize it for whatever new drama episode they want to bring. But see, right now, it's got to have something to do with Ernie. If I got to explain to you what that right means, man, you are a dumbass. Stupidity's out the window with you. You're just completely fucking stupid. Regardless. And I don't really care, dude. It really does not matter to me. You're a fucking dumbass, okay? You can't even come up here and talk to me. You can't make the phone call and discuss it with me. Don't worry about it. See, that's the problem with you people. Angela, I did not do that. Did I do that? I didn't mean to do that. I think I did that. I didn't mean to do that.
He's talking to his chat.
But yeah, you people want to sit back and it's all about y'all. As long as it's all something y'all can talk about, as long as y'all are in control, as long as y'all got it going on, as long as it's all me. And half the time it ain't even worth fucking talking about. I don't give a damn who you are. I really don't care. You're the one I'm trying to strike out anyway. I don't care who you are. To be honest with you. You're not worth my fucking time. I don't care. Again, I'm sorry, Angela. I'm trying to get you back on there now. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to strike him, but damn, thing broke. Yeah, seriously, I don't care who you people are. I know what you people are about, but I don't care who you are individually. But I can damn sure find out who you are. That doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at all. I mean, what's the point? Y'all already showed me y'all's teeth. It all depends on what you want to believe. You're a bunch of children. And what gets me is when you're raising kids, when you're raising children. Or well, you call it raising. You call it what you want. You ain't raising much. Bunch of clowns is what you are. But hey, somewhere down the line, you had to learn it so well. You had to learn it. You had to learn it. It is what it is.
Oh, good Lord. Are we done listening to this idiot?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yes, we can push. We can end it there.
Thank God.
And I told Griff at the end of this that I would offer him a link. You don't have to step if you don't want to, but because I talked about him, I will. He can come talk to me if he wants to. But
yeah, I definitely want. I want to see the documentation of my food stamps. That's what I'd like to see because my bitch ass been missing out apparently. If I'm supposed to be getting food stamps and they haven't been, I'll be pretty pissed off.
There's things like that it's like why say that and even
and not prove it.
Yeah.
First of all, because men like him and some women like him think that because you get food stamps, it's supposed to shame you in some way. That's been a thing in this country since food stamps were invented. Okay. If you get food stamps because you need help getting food for your family, I'm 1,000% behind you obtaining them. I make $94,000 a year. I do not qualify for food stamps. Okay. I would have to make $27,000 a year to qualify for food stamps. My pension alone is $45,000 a year.
Yeah.
So I don't qualify for food stamps. I'd love them, but I can't. Now, I do great things with my money because I have a wonderful spouse who's basically turned into a prepper and has almost 4 years of food freeze-dried with a 25-year shelf life because she's planning for things that she sees that may happen in the future where food prices go up. And what has happened? Food prices have gone up 30%.
Yep.
But I don't get food stamps. It'd be nice if I could, but I don't. More people that need it and deserve it get them. And that's the way it's supposed to work.
He was mad at you. I mean, you're talking about all this misinformation and all this confusion people are causing. And here he goes out and throws shit out there like that. So people are thinking, and there was one person in his chat that said, really? Viper gets food stamps? And I'm like, bang head here. No, don't.
Just like I was never adopted. I grew up in an orphanage, never got the privilege of being adopted, and I haven't seen my biological family since I was 3. So, whatever your name is, Holistic Tina, by all means, you can dox that to the kingdom come. I don't care. I don't know any of my family.
She's like, and Viper, tell us who the sex offender is in your family.
I have no idea.
Her and Ernie do that shit. Think just like Nicolina, they think, well, we'll throw this out there and then you'll bite on it. But what she didn't realize was there was a very nice lady named Mountain Violet, and that's pretty close to her. Her son is an RSO. And if you're going to blame the family for the RSO, well, then you got to blame your friend Mountain Violet. I don't think you should blame the family for an RSO.
I don't even know if she's telling the truth. I don't know anything about my family. I am an orphan.
Yep.
The only family I know is the family I created with my one marriage that I'm still in of 28 years, and my 3 children that I created with her.
They just do that weird shit. Like everybody's a pedophile. If you say one word against them, everybody's a pedophile. It's just weird.
Well, that doesn't work out too well for people when you call people pedophile and it's not true, and you call their work and you call their FEMA and you call their business that they're invested in, because that gets you in court.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this for a fact because I'm doing it myself.
Pedophile is one of them words where they're like, if you're going to prove defamation or slander or anything like that, you've got to meet the threshold of it, with lots of proof. Pedophile is one of the things where you don't have to meet it. You don't have to have stacks of proof, because just the word pedophile is offensive enough. Everybody knows what the weight that has on it, and the courts, all you got to be called is a pedophile and have that, recorded. And that's enough to sue in most states, from what I looked up. There's a few words that are like so egregious that the court already knows you don't need any proof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I needed proof in my court. Yeah. Like I'm taking somebody to court, and they admitted under oath, in addition to the videos that I had, that they did call me a pedophile. They called me a child porn spreader. They called me a lot of things that weren't true. You want to call me a fucking asshole or a hypocrite or a scumbag or whatever, things that aren't detrimental to my business or my livelihood, by all means, go for it. I don't care. Right. But when you start calling my places of employment, you're trying to find where I work within the FEMA organization, or call my dealership to ask my business partner why they are working with a pedophile, I'm going to take your ass to court.
Yep, I would.
Especially since I have a system that records everything. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've said it back in 2010 when I first came to this platform. Record everything, because people are going to hide what they do.
Mm-hmm. That's being prepared. Yeah.
And by the way, it's not bullying if you're going after a bully. You can't bully a bully. It's called retribution. There's a big difference between being a bully and bullying a bully.
That'd be like calling the cops bullying because they go after the criminals. It just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's about all that I had to discuss today, was all the things that, Griff got wrong there, that I never once said I would stop when Ernie went to jail. I absolutely admit Ernie's my content. There's no shame in my game. I don't give a shit about growing a channel. I don't give a shit about who got the reward. Just many things.
That's a good question, Squids. Can you highlight Squid's last comment? So when it's international, let's take Germany, for example. Let's say you have a citizen in Germany, harassing somebody in America. It seems like, what can you do? The person's in Germany, I'm in America, right? Your police aren't going to do anything. They don't know much. The police over there, pretty much, if you can get in contact with them, they're really not going to know how to proceed. So you're going to have to go to your embassies. You have to file the complaint in your embassy that a citizen from another country is cyber stalking, harassing, and terrorizing you. And that embassy will then start an investigation with their embassy. Their embassy, if they have a good relationship with that country and doesn't want to jeopardize it, will ensure that the police investigate on their behalf what's going on. And that's how you can get somebody in another country. It's a process, a very long, tedious process. Yes, Katie, blame Katie sees Vidal on Katie, blame Katie's channel. Please go watch, sub up, and
Get the link here.
enjoy.
That will be good.
Thank you so much for having me up, Constance.
Well,
I
thank you for
appreciate it.
coming. I hate to
And
drag you
again,
through all this crap and all this, you know. You got
I don't mind. I've never taken, again, let me repeat, I've never taken sole credit for anything relating to Ernie other than obtaining his military records. Everything else has been a combined team effort from multiple communities, multiple sides, some of which don't get along. I have no issues with that. But none of this was about money for me. I could care less about the money. But I do hope that the people that did actively find him are the ones that are rewarded and nobody else. That's my opinion. If you're a victim of Ernie's and you have video proof, call up the Madison County DA and tell them that you're a victim and you want to give your information to them. If you truly want to stop Ernie, if you truly want Ernie to get help, he's going to get it in prison. That's what I got.
Thank you.
Have a great night, Constance. Be safe, everybody. Please stockpile your foods and save.
I would listen to him. I need to be more prepared myself. Well, thank you all for being here. Griff, I did drop the link. I'll drop it real quick one more time. In case you just want to talk to, you know, discuss it with me. Just a whole bunch that, you know, I think you got mixed up or got wrong pertaining to me anyway. I don't know, you know. Viper said his part, and I can't speak on anybody else, but I would have gone up on your panel that night, except I was other places. Right, tattoos. And he don't, you know, I think he's got a touch of narcissism, and narcissists think there's nothing wrong with them. You know, why do they need it, you know? But let me see what else I got to say. Right, Ash. Absolutely, Penny. And you know who was thrown out the most was Jimbo. And you asked Jimbo what I told him, but you know what? He would never go down and you know, do anything about it with Nicolina. Makes you wonder why. You're a man, you have daughters, you're a coach, you're a substitute teacher, and you don't want to take care of the person that's, you know, calling you a pedo online. Makes you wonder why. On the other hand, you call a man a pedo for 2 years, then all of a sudden, oh, never mind, you're not. I was just mad. Sorry. Yeah. Bunch of fucking dumbasses. Well, I'm going to go. Thank you for being here. Griff, this was not really to talk shit on you. I know the chat, you know, have issues with you. But I don't have issues with you. I just wanted to set records straight. So, okay, everybody go to Katie's next. What'd she say, in an hour or a half hour? I don't know. I forgot already. That's true, PG. That's true. He might have to argue that in court. The truth is a defense. I don't know. So, okay, everybody. Talk to y'all later. And thanks for being here.